Hi, it's Jean. Welcome to day 56 of Metamorphosis in Motion, which is my daily vlog of my midlife transformation. So today feels a little bit like no transformation has happened at all. So it is a Sunday, and I think the day started by getting up later, and that's not uncommon for a weekend, but the hike yesterday really wore me out. It was a 5-mile hike, and boy, I need to do more hikes to get into better shape. So that was the start of today. But what was nice about today, so I'm going to back up a little bit because I do that sometimes. What was nice about today was it was Sunday, and I was not at the farmer's market, which is somewhere that I had been for about 2 years. On a Sunday, I would go to a farmer's market and sell my products there. And some things had happened which made it harder for me to go consistently, and I finally just said I need to do something else for a little while. So one of the nice benefits of not going to a farmer's market on Sunday is I get to make sort of a Sunday brunch, and that has been missing. It was something I used to like to do when I started doing farmer's markets. It fell off and almost didn't recover, but we had a nice breakfast or brunch. I guess it was a late, I think it's brunch. 11 o'clock seems like brunch to me. So I did blueberry pancakes and bacon and some fruit, and it was simple and it was good, and it was nice to sit around the table with my family early in the day and not have to wait until dinner time. So that was okay. One of the reasons I had stopped doing some of the massive amounts of cooking that I used to do is because I've been working on growing a business, and it's really hard to do all of the things. But with recent events and a need to make sure everyone in my family is nourished, they're very good about being autonomous and taking care of themselves. But my daughter needs some more attention in terms of eating, so we're trying to give her that. But also, it's just great to be together again, and I feel good about that. So that was okay. I did get some work done. I did my garbling of my herbs, which I really have to turn into a much more efficient process. I spent about 3 hours today stripping herbs off the stem that have been dried. But I am an herbalist. I grow herbs. They need to be harvested. I put them in these dryers. They're about, I don't know, you can't probably even see what I'm doing right now, but they're round and they're stacked. And so I put the herbs in, they dry, I pull them out, I sit at a table, and I pull the leaves off, because otherwise they're just going to hang around in these big, giant, they seem very giant when they're in my house hanging to dry. And so I need the space back, and I don't want to keep feeling like I'm living in my, a drying shed. So I spent some time today doing that, because my jars, I didn't plan ahead and know that I needed jars for my candles that I need to make for my stocking of the pharmacy. So I thought I had everything I needed, and then I did inventory checking, and I said, oops, I don't have everything I need. So I'm working on getting that done. And that was about, I did a meditation this morning, so that was part of my morning routine, and did some reading. I'm getting into some safe sound therapy, which is something I'd never heard of before, and when I learn more about it, I'll share with you more about what I know or I've learned. And so that was okay. Journaled and did a little bit of didn't do too much planning, but I did get into my journals and things like that. Didn't do any exercise, just giving my body a little break today. Start again tomorrow. And then dinner came around, and I said I am making dinner tonight. And I was making something with harissa, because I had harissa in the fridge. Well, I got everything out. I opened the jar, and it was not too good anymore. So I had to go to the store very late in the day, looking like I do right now, which isn't my best, but sometimes you just gotta go. And it was late, and I needed to get dinner made. And of course, this day that I go to the store, the line is around, it's so long, but they move pretty fast. I digress a little bit, but that is kind of, why I feel a little bit like I was feeling pretty good about being on top of things, knowing what I was going to make. I expect the ingredients to be there, and they're not good anymore. So, but we recovered. We ate a little later than I thought we might, And the one thing that did happen that I was kind of expecting, but I didn't expect everything that went with it, was trying to get my daughter to eat meat again. And we had fish. We had salmon tonight, which is a meat. It's not a mammal, but it's still something to get started on again. And I had a feeling there was going to be a big no with that. But I wanted to get the process rolling, that this was something to expect, that this is what we need to do to make sure you're properly nourished at a young age and can live a healthy life when your body stops developing. Make different choices if that's what you so choose to do later on. Well, then I got some help from the other partner in the equation, and I just felt like all the trust that I had built up with her had been eroded, because all of a sudden it became this, well, I'll reward you, but if you don't follow through and get the reward, then we'll punish you. And that isn't what I had hoped for. So that's something for me to deal with. I'm not quite sure yet what I'm going to do about that or how to proceed, because that's when things get a little tense, and I think like a lot of people, avoid the tension, but it's important that we get through this. So that's kind of where I'm at today. A little bit up, a little bit down, a little bit kind of wondering how we're going to get to the other side of things. But things I have put in motion are kind of still sticking. Well, they are still sticking. The no coffee was one. The no alcohol, another. So that's 56 days. It's actually 58. I stopped, 57, because I stopped one day before. I started my whole rebirth day process here, my midlife transformation. I'm just glad there's more days in a year than 56, because I have a lot of work to do yet. Part of the book, so it's partly, I'll talk a little bit about it. The book, The Safe Sound Therapy, is based on polyvagal, I think it's therapy or technique. Anyway, our vagus nerve has a lot of control over our trauma and other things going on with us. And there's some evidence that by doing certain things and working with sound, and among other therapeutic things, it can show real promise in helping heal from trauma. So I'm trying to see if that's true. I will hopefully be able to try it out on me and see how that works, and if it can resolve some things that have been going on in me for my whole life, which is part of the reason why it's so hard for me to get past my ceiling. It's my own thing. No one's standing on me, keeping me down. Not really. But trauma is, and there are things around me that bring that up, those thoughts that I'm not going to be able to do it. I've done immense amounts of work that nobody knows about because I'm just too afraid to put it out there, and I procrastinate a lot on those things, and I'm learning that I need to forgive myself for my procrastination and do something, put something out there. So I've got like pieces of work done, and if I just connect a couple dots, it goes out and I have completed something. Now, will the world see it? I don't know, probably not, but not right away. But with work, it happens, and it happens with consistency. So there's hope. I'm very hopeful. And that's all I really wanted to message today. We've got some work still to do. I think that's a lifetime thing, but I think getting over some of the bigger things can help make other issues or work or whatever we're talking about get a little bit easier. And I'll keep sharing as I go, so you can kind of see what I'm learning in my transformation, and maybe you can share with me what you're learning in your transformation if you're going through one. I haven't mentioned, and because I don't even know if anything's really happening with it, is I have been listening to some different sound frequencies at night. So I'm kind of wondering if anything is going to come from that. I do feel a little bit calmer. I'm not quite as easy to erupt, I think. We'll see. I want to believe that's true, and I want to believe that is consistent, and that somehow I'm not like repressing things and all of a sudden I'm going to explode. I don't think so. Being more loving and presence is a little bit of something. I think I'm present, but I'm always researching, so I think that makes me not present. And I want to just stop what I'm doing, which I did a couple times today. I stopped what I was doing when my daughter came to talk to me, and we just talked, and it was nice. So I'm happy to be there for her. So again, if you're on your journey, I would like to hear what you're up to, or at least have you coming along with me. Is nice to have you here. I will check in pretty much every day. I think occasionally I'll miss a day here or there, so I just want to be honest about that. I think that's what I really want to be, is transparent about what's going on, and just let people who are also on a journey know that they're not alone. I mean, if you're on a journey and everything's going perfectly for you, please share, because that would be really nice. But I have a feeling that it's not perfect for anyone, so let's not seek perfection, and let's just keep trying. I will be back tomorrow. Click the subscribe if you want to be notified of when my videos are uploaded and live, and I will talk to you then. Bye for now.